All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? Happy Monday to you. It's Monday, June 28th, 2021. This morning, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics and one that I always find myself working on, and that is the meaning of discipline. What is discipline? What's it going to do for you? What's it going to do if you don't have it? Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Good morning to you. I hope this looks okay. I got a new web camera this morning, so I was a little late getting that hooked up here. But, man, I'm excited to talk about this topic this morning. You know, discipline is something that over the last handful of years I've really been working on in my own life. And I've seen, you know, just the difference in people around me as well, you know, when they get this part of their life in check, when they actually get discipline really lined up and really in the right place where they have a lot of control over their actions, when a lot of things become more intentional, more offensive as opposed to defensive in your life, I think that things just go to an entirely new level. And so I wanted to talk about that this morning. I think it's a great topic to kick off a Monday with. And, you know, we're closing down here into the end of June. So in a couple of days here, we will be halfway through 2021. You know, life is going back to normal. Everything seems to be clicking on all cylinders for so many people around me. I hope it is for you. And I hope that this topic will give you a little bit of perspective on, you know, from where you are right now to where you want to be and kind of how you can get there. And I'm going to share some personal stories with you guys on exactly, you know, how this has evolved for me and how it continues to evolve, how it continues to be a challenge in my life. You know, I think this is a fight that we all fight every single day to stay disciplined. So we're going to dig into that this morning. But as always, I want to say good morning to some folks. Dayton Packard, what's happening? Kim, good morning to you. I hope you had fun at the beach. I don't know if you're still at the beach or not, but hope you had fun. Carla, good morning to you. Jeff Nelson, my brother out there on the West Coast, man. That dude was texting me this morning while I was in the gym at like, I don't know, 6 something, 5 something in the morning. And so he's up all hours of the night. David Martin, good morning to you. Daniel Good, as always, over there live on YouTube. Trisha, Bob, and Cynthia, good morning to you guys. Eric Stanley tuning in from St. John this morning. Good morning to you, man. Christina, good morning to you. Cam Roberts, what's happening, man? Man, I can't believe how hot it is out there on the West Coast, brother. I know that Keith Calloway was posting it was a record heat day in Portland over the weekend, and I'm sure you guys are experiencing the same thing, man. So stay safe and stay cool. And Leonard Pickett, thank you, brother, for that, and happy Monday to you, and good morning, man. So let's dig into discipline. So what exactly is discipline, and how does it serve us? I am going to tell you, I've probably said this on this show before, but I think it's really important to repeat it this morning. How disciplined you are in your life, I believe, is a direct connection to the percentage of your potential that you'll ever be able to reach. I'm going to say that again. How disciplined you are. So the percentage at which you are disciplined is directly connected to the percentage of your potential that you will be able to reach in your life. And so discipline for me is a really serious thing. And so I look at that as the gap between where I am and where I want to be in every aspect of my life. Like I know for sure that I'm 100% in control of where I'm going. And I know that the decisions that I make every single day is what gets me closer or further away from whatever it is that I want, right? And so as I look at the different areas of my life, I can actually point to you to the period of time when I decided that I was going to be disciplined or more disciplined in that area of my life. And then the results of that would fall into place exactly the way that you would think, right? Things started to get better. And so the meaning of discipline, which is the title of this show, to me, is discipline is your future. Discipline equals freedom is what Jocko Willink says. And I would agree with him. The level of discipline that we all have. And listen, guys, I want you guys to understand that everybody struggles with this. It doesn't matter what area of your life you're trying to improve on. It's difficult to break patterns. It's difficult to stay disciplined. It's difficult not to fall back into the way that you used to do it. It's difficult not to do those things that you don't want to do, because a lot of times the things that you're forcing yourself to do through discipline are not the most enjoyable, right? But they are, well, I shouldn't say that. They are not the most enjoyable in the moment, but they are by far the most enjoyable long term. And so I see a lot of people, in today's world wanting immediate gratification, right? Whether it's, going to the gym and expecting immediate results, not being willing to put in the work that's required to get that long term. And that is one for me that has always been a challenge. It is why, if you guys see on my Instagram stories and probably my Facebook stories, I started this weekend 160 days straight. I'm going to show up for myself from now until the beginning of December. I'm going to show up every single day, and I'm going to work hard at creating discipline in that area of my life. So I'm going to show up to the gym. As long as I'm in Pittsburgh, I'll be at the gym down here in Wexford, and I'm going to show up for myself every single day. And by showing up for myself, being disciplined for myself, I'm going to create more discipline for every single person that interacts with me. And the reason that I want to do this is obviously I want to do it for myself. But when I'm looking at, kind of the impact of what that discipline can do outside of me, that is inspirational to me. Like, I think about the example that we all set, and we all set an example, whether it's good or bad or indifferent in different buckets of our lives, right? We all set an example for others to follow. And so I want you guys to think about that. What if somebody were to look at you today and say, how disciplined is this particular person in this area of their life? How would someone rate you? How would you rate yourself? And so for me, discipline is everything. It's the foundational piece of winning in any aspect of life, whether it's business or family or your marriage, your friendships. How disciplined are you staying? And I'll be honest, guys, there's a lot of areas of my life that I have not been very disciplined in. I've sacrificed the discipline in one area of my life to get stronger in another. And I recognize that. I'm working on it, and I'm coming for all of them, right? I'm coming for the whole list. And I think that what we have to realize is that discipline is something that's formed over a long period of time, right? And there's a lot of times that we're going to fall down in the process of getting really disciplined. In the process of me getting super disciplined about my morning routine, there was many, many mornings that I did not do what I said I was going to do. And the key to that is recognizing that and being able to move forward in a positive direction, not giving up on the initial goal. Remember why you started. Remember what it was that drove you to want to be more disciplined in the first place. Go back to that feeling. Go back to that feeling of what it's like when you finish. So for me, I look at the end result of what I'm trying to accomplish right now. There's so many benefits, right? There's so many benefits to why I want to show up every day for 160 days straight in the gym. What's going to happen to me as a person as I evolve, as I maintain and improve that discipline in my life? How is that going to impact the other things? And so I was sharing with Jeff Nelson this morning via text. For me, it's about how do you get to that next level, right? How do we get from where we are to where we want to be? What's the next step? And so for me, I look around and I see that for me personally, for me to be able to get to the next level of where I want to be, it's going to require a massive amount of focus, a massive amount of effort. And it's going to take me being the very best in every aspect of my life. Not just in business, not just as a father, not just as a husband, but every aspect. And that includes the physical for me. And I was listening to a book this weekend, and that book, it's Winning by Tim Grover. If you guys haven't read it yet, just go get it and listen to it. And he talked about Michael Jordan. And when I was a kid, I was a big Michael Jordan fan. So that obviously gets my attention anytime somebody's talking about Michael Jordan. But he was talking about, back when he started working with Michael Jordan back in the 80s and 90s, basketball players weren't, these built dudes with huge biceps and things like that. It just wasn't the case back then. Nobody really worked out in that fashion. But they were looking for that little edge, right? They were looking for how can I find that little edge over my competition? And so what they decided was that Michael Jordan was going to work out his biceps, and he was going to get bigger all the way around. He was going to physically get bigger, not because it would help his basketball game, but because he wanted to be physically intimidating to his opponent. And it got me thinking about, myself and how I kind of look at myself when I look in the mirror and I say, like, you've got more to give. There's an area of your life that isn't that disciplined, that isn't as disciplined as the rest of it. And so for me, it's about setting an example in every aspect, right? And picking off every single category that I possibly can to become the best version of myself, what I believe God intended me to be. And so I hope that hits home with some of you guys, that maybe there's an area of your life that you're not necessarily happy with. And, it doesn't have to be something glaring. It can be something that's just minor that you want to change. Maybe it's something major that you want to change. But the reality of it is, guys, is that discipline is what's going to take you from where you are right now to whatever it is that came to mind when I said that. And I want you guys to think about that. I want you to think about what are those areas of your life, and don't accept anything less than what your full potential is. And you can't do it all at once, right? You have to prioritize and pick these things and make sure that they fit into your life in the right way. And that's complicated, right? Sometimes that takes having a coach, having an outside influence. I'm lucky to have people around me that always push me and never accept anything less than what I'm fully capable of. And so I'm blessed to have those people in my life. I had a conversation Saturday morning with Ben Newman that absolutely set me on fire, right? It gave me a different perspective of where I'm going and why I want to do it, and exactly what I'm going to accomplish and why. But it takes discipline to do all of that. And every day you're going to have a different level of commitment, a different level of discipline, there's going to be things that happen to you that knock you off track. But if you could stay grounded in exactly why you want to do it and what the impact of you being successful is, it'll get a lot easier and it'll get a lot clearer as to what you're doing and why you're doing it. And it will be easier to keep going when things get tough. Glenn Lundy likes to say, who loses if you don't win? Who loses if you don't win? And in my case, I look around and I say, I have a responsibility to a lot of people to make sure that I win in every aspect of life. And that requires looking myself in the mirror and saying, I need to be more disciplined in this particular area. Discipline is the keys to the city, guys. I promise you, discipline is the keys to the city. If you can figure out how to do the things that you don't want to do, a lot of people say, I've heard a bunch of people say this, like, do something that sucks every single day and you will get more discipline. It's the reason why people take cold showers. It's the reason why people run ultra marathons. It's the reason why, that suffering builds character, and it gets you closer to being the version of yourself that you're supposed to be. So I just want you guys to look at yourselves today and say, what is it that I need to be more disciplined in? What is it that I'm missing? And what does it look like when I get there? I spent some time this weekend closing my eyes and imagining what it looks like in the beginning of December when I show up for myself and for everybody else every single day for 160 days. And I didn't think about the pain that's going to, come as a result of me showing up every day, the achy bones and muscles and this and that. I got muscles aching right now that I haven't felt in years. I'm focused on one thing, and that is showing up every single day, keeping the promise to myself and to those people that depend on me to be the best that I can be every single day. And that, friends, is the meaning of discipline to me. And I hope that it gives you some perspective this morning on, some area of your life that can be better, some area that you're not satisfied with, and just hit it head on and realize that it's a fight, right? It's a fight to get where you want to go. Anything that's worth it's not easy, and anything that's easy is not worth it. That's it for today, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Close out June on fire, man. We had an unbelievable, I think we had a record week at the Pavement Group last week. Probably an all-time high in sales. If not, it's probably number 2. If it's not, number 1. So it's been an amazing June for us. I hope it's been an amazing June for you, but don't go out like a mouse. Go out like a lion. Put the work in. You got a couple more days here to make sure that you close it out strong and that June 2021 is one to remember. So wishing you guys an amazing week, an amazing day. And I will see you guys again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys. Thanks.